Welcome back to Jane Hawtin Live.
You're with Jane Hawtin Live. My guests are Bruce Elwood of Hamilton Wentworth Regional Police and defense lawyer Karen McArthur, and we're asking whether police should be allowed to release the name and photo of a child sex offender once he has served his sentence. We're taking your calls at 1-800-510-JANE, and this may end up in the news a little more because there's a film, according to the Toronto Star, a film that's opening called Powder from Disney, which the director is a convicted child molester. And on Monday night in Hollywood, when they did the premiere of this film, the victim, who is now in his 20s, was there handing out pamphlets saying, "Don't spend your money on this movie." So officially Disney's response is, hey, this man has served his time, leave him alone. And you would agree with Disney's response?
Yes, obviously. He's gone on, he's trying to do something else with his life, and he's being hounded from something that happened years back that he was convicted of and served his time. Yep. Leave him alone. Let him contribute to society. Let him pay his debt back, even if it's only by being, you know, a fully functioning person who holds down a job.
All right, let's talk to Terry. Do you agree with Karen's position on this issue, Terry?
No way. Nope. I believe that with the police officer there, that their names, pictures, I don't care what it is, should be given out. I went through a court case 2 years ago, and it's a joke. It's a real joke the way that they get to plea bargain, they get to do, you know, everything is for them. I had no rights at all. It was all his rights, what he wanted. We begged to have his name published in the paper because we didn't know how many other kids that this had happened to. They refused because it was against his rights to have his name published.
Well, hang on, Terry. I'm going to bring Tracy on because, Tracy, I don't think you agree with what Terry's saying here.
No, I don't actually agree. I don't think it's the public's right to know. There's recently been someone in our area, and their name was published, and instead of throwing eggs at their house and picketing, why aren't you picketing Parliament to get them to change the law? I mean, these people, if they're going to reoffend, why are they even out on the streets?
Well, what made me really mad, okay, if you want, they serve their time, whatever, but they don't have to take counseling. In my case, he was given the option to take counseling. He refused it, so he didn't have to take it. So he could be out there doing God knows what to whoever else's kids, and I would never want anybody else to go through that. And I would make sure, if I had a name, address, I'm not saying I would go to the person's house. I don't believe in that type of behavior at all, but I would love to know if this person ended up moving back into my neighborhood or any other person to protect my own kids.
Tracy?
Well, I can't say that I completely agree with that because, you know, it's unfortunate that it happened to you, but just because you own a house, do you think it's your right that you know that there's someone who may have burglarized in your neighborhood?
Maybe.
Sure, why not? I feel all this bit about his rights or her rights, or whoever the offender is, that's garbage. As soon as they committed that act against a child, I think their rights are out the window. What is
okay? Thank you both for calling, and I think that, but that encapsulates the debate that's on this particular issue. I think more people are on your side, Bruce, than are on yours, Karen, and I'm sure it must be difficult for you to be defending pedophiles.
Well, I just think that the first caller is an adherent of this view that's running rampant through our society now of throw the book at them. You know, retribution all the way. Just lock them up and throw away the key. Vengeance, vengeance, vengeance. Well, you know, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. It's not for you or me or Bruce or anybody else. And our police force try to do their best, but they must do it in a measured way. And vigilantism and vengeance is not the way of a democracy.
But nobody's supporting vigilantism, and we are all hoping that we are covering the rights.
But it is the unfortunate end product.
But you know that I will disagree with you.
When we don't deal with it in a measured way.
But you know that I will disagree with, and if I hope that any police service across Canada, if they have to weigh the rights of protecting the public or protecting the community versus the rights of an offender, I sure hope they err in the protection of the community first.
Well, let's not forget, though, Bruce, that a community also has a constituent element of it, the offender. You can't excise the offender from the community.
I think you can when that offender is a child molester.
You have to include the offender into the community and include the offender when you're coming to grips with a solution here.
I still think you're hearing the comments coming across Canada that are saying it's time we recognize the rights of victims, the rights of the community, the rights of our children, and the offender's rights start to come back down into reality a little bit.
Okay. We're out of time. Thank you both for coming in. My thanks to Superintendent Bruce Elwood of the Hamilton-Wentworth Regional Police and lawyer Karen McArthur, and also Monica Rainey of CASE, Citizens Against Child Exploitation. We'll be right back to wrap up.